What's going on, everybody? Well, update. I'm almost in Sioux City. I'm probably about 40 miles roughly south of it. But, interesting thing. Dealership keeps digging themselves deeper and deeper into the hole. Just gonna say. And Harley Davidson really needs to do something about this dealership. I mean, honestly, they basically, practically have lied up to this point now. Plain and simple. I mean, they have flat out lied about having the bike ready, about almost every damn thing there is about the bike so far. So Harley Davidson, I think, really needs to have a look at J&L HD. To be honest, they just need to bring somebody down, look and see what the heck they're doing down here, because J&L is basically one of those dealerships that's actually dragging Harley Davidson down. Customer service for travelers sucks. Communication from the dealership sucks. The fact that they cannot and will not evidently hold true to anything they say, that's well noted. So, and I'm about willing to bet anything. If anybody has done warranty coverage work and just went ahead and paid money for the upgraded parts because they didn't want to wait on a back-ordered part at J&L Harley Davidson, they probably got charged full price. J&L actually profited even more money off of paying full price for said part, even though they actually probably charged the warranty company still for the same part. But however much the warranty covers, no big deal. Who cares if they didn't cover all of it, because, well, the customer done paid for all of it. So whatever the warranty gives them, that much extra money bonus for the dealership. Well, there you have it. Not sure if y'all got if the telephone call was heard or not, but yeah, I just got the phone call. They're not going to have it done until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. It was supposed to have been done today. Not tomorrow, but today. Actually, they were supposed to work on it last week. But because I told them I wouldn't be able to get that up here until this weekend, they decided amongst themselves to wait till this week to work on it. So, me and the store manager tomorrow's gonna have words. The store manager promised me that, thanks. But, yeah, it's probably from, where I answered the phone from the dealership, because that's who called just a second ago. No, I don't need a brake. That's one thing I don't like about this BMW. It keeps recommending brakes while I'm driving. Weird, but okay. But back to the story at hand. When I called talked to the general manager back around, I think the 2nd or 3rd of this month, been about 2 weeks ago, and sat there and voiced my concern about the service manager wanting to wait till yesterday to start working on the bike. And I was like, whoa. Nah, this ain't happening. I go, something's bound to happen and something's bound not to be done, or they're going to rush it and it's not going to be done completed. Is what I told the general manager. And he told me, he promised me, and he told me that he'll make sure that it's done today, no later than today. I was like, okay, no problem. But he also sat there and told me that from what he understands and the parts that he was seeing on his computer, they're supposed to, because at this point, I'm not taking his word anymore for anything, that they've replaced everything from the bottom of the motor up. So basically rebuilt the entire motor. Because if he's lied about having the job done on time and all this other stuff, it's just a shady dealer. That's all there is to it. J&L Harley Davidson in Sioux Falls is a shady dealer. Plain and simple. I'll just call it. They don't keep their word for anything for travelers. I even went, because he sat there and made a comment about the bike, and I was like, yeah. I go, but it's awful funny how you guys have got the parts, but your service manager decides he's going to push the bike being worked on until almost the time for me to get up there. So what if something happens? What if they find something else goes wrong, something's missing, something else has to be on back order? Oh, I will make sure. I was like, well, I hope so. I go, because by George, not only am I a traveler, but as you can tell by the bike, being that you looked at it, I'm also a veteran. But yet, who cares? I go, you guys ain't saying much of anything. I go, on top of already trying to get your money from the warranty company 2 days after filing the claim, when you guys know for a fact, and I didn't know until I called, that you guys ain't even supposed to be closing a warranty claim until I have the bike in my own personal possession, not whenever you decide you want to close it to get your money. I go, so you guys are already acting shady as can be. So anybody traveling to South Dakota, if you can avoid J&L Harley Davidson in Sioux Falls for any kind of bike issue, especially if you're traveling, I would highly suggest avoiding it. If it can hold off and wait till you get to Rapid City, great. If you're heading north or south, I'd probably wait till you get to the first dealership either way. And if you're going west, I'm not sure exactly, or east, I don't know which dealership would be closest to Sioux Falls East. But I would stay the heck away from J&L Harley Davidson in Sioux Falls. It's, after today and after all this, no. And I am going to do a video in depth, because I want to see, and then on top of that, there's a real good likelihood after the bike rally, if the bike lasts that long, first off, because right now I'm not having good vibes at all that the bike's actually going to, it better make it back to the house. If it don't, oh, I will feel extremely sorry for J&H Harley Davidson at that point, because they not only will have me coming back up here, but they'll also be getting a letter from a lawyer, because I will go ahead and get a lawyer at that point. Because, and then I'll actually make a phone call to the warranty company and even have the warranty company look into possible fraud from the dealership. Because there shouldn't be any reason why the bike shouldn't make it, but at this point, I just don't see it making it. I just really don't. I'll be surprised, and I'm crossing my fingers that it makes it back to Tennessee at this point. Hey, Evil, how's it going? So, yeah, not exactly a happy day now. Been having a good vibe for the most part, but just because, well, at least the car rental company's taking care of me. I mean, they gave me a bougie BMW to drive, but Harley Davidson in the dealership right now, no. This dealership, no. And that's going to be the title of the video. Their name's going to be plastered right at the dang title in the main little thumbnail for it. Avoid JNL Harley Davidson in Sioux Falls at all costs if you're traveling. Especially if you're traveling. But I don't know how they treat the locals. And evidently they probably don't treat the locals as that good either, because when I was up here for the rally, one of the locals didn't even know that they changed the hours. They just done it suddenly. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, they better make sure they have the bike ready tomorrow. Because now it's going to be tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning when it should be ready. No, it better be more than should. If that tech's got to come in at 6 o'clock in the morning to make sure he's got it done before 10 o'clock, then so be it. And the bike better be clean. You know what I mean, Evil? How's it going, Harley? The music ain't playing too loud in the background, is it? Anybody? But yeah, I am livid if you couldn't tell. To say the least. But hey, Evil, did you get your bike back? Were you able to finally get your bike back by chance? Or are you still waiting on yours to get back? Oh, okay. Can you hear me now better, Evil? Or no? Can you hear me talking? Anybody there? Let's see here. Let's make sure the microphone's working. It says it's working. Okay, so yeah, you must be able to hear me if you're answering the question. Oh gosh, really? Man. I think it's time to trade it in, Evil. But then again, though, by the time you get done fixing everything, you'll have a new bike. It's like, yeah. Man, I want to trade it in for a new one. I mean, almost everything these days is plastic. So, yeah. Probably wouldn't trade it in. You probably got real metal parts on your motor. No telling what they make them out of nowadays. But just disappointing. Very disappointed. And I might even ask the store manager to see if I can get the phone number for the store owner. And see if I can't have a conversation with the store owner. And see what he's got to say about how his dealership's handling people that are traveling. The fact that whether or not the fact that I'm a vet's irrelevant, realistically. It's more being a traveling rider, hog member at that even, and being done this way, them not holding anything. Yes, that is true. Evil bikes are expensive. No doubt there. Oh. They're really expensive. Yeah, hopefully before too long I'll be in the same boat. But yeah, that way I can actually try to see if I can actually take some medicines that I can't take right now while working. But I have to wait till I can medically retire from work to be able to start trying some of the other stuff. That might actually work to ease off a lot of the dang pain that I deal with every day. But yeah, I figured I was going to go live. I gave the dealership more than enough time to call, and they decided to call at the last minute to tell me, oh, it's not ready yet, which I kind of figured as much, being they didn't call to tell me when they started working on the bike. But apparently, supposedly, they started yesterday, according to the service guy. But being they didn't call, who's to say they actually started yesterday? I have a funny feeling they started it this morning. And figured that they'd probably have it done before the day's end. And oops, didn't make it. Trikes are expensive, but they're also fun to ride. And sometimes a pain in the butt. Right, Evil? Oh, Zan knows now too, because he's got the kid. But yeah, back to what I was saying about hopefully getting the bike back to the house. If I get it back to the house, it makes it that far. If it starts to even remotely sound funny, I'm taking it straight into Mountain Creek. I'm taking it back to the home dealer. I'll let them run through it. Go ahead and pay for the 80K, even if there's just little over 1,000, 2,000 miles on the oil that's in the bike right now. I'm not going to care, because I don't trust this dealership at all. Can y'all blame me? But I did notice that 67 down through Illinois is moving right along. I did notice that today. And boy, the troopers on 57 today were horrible. My gosh. The stretch between 24 and 64 along 57, my gosh. They were out in full force. It's like they were they were ticket happy today. Saying 418-wheelers stopped all within about 3 miles distance. And then went 4 or 5 miles up the road, and there was 4 more troopers waiting on somebody to give a ticket to. Hey, whatever works, Zan. I'm just glad it works pretty good for you. But yeah, trikes ain't cheap by no means whatsoever. That's one of the reasons why I was kind of glad that the salesperson that sold me mine actually talked me into going ahead and just getting it. I knew eventually, she and I both knew I was going to eventually, as well as the ex knew, I was going to eventually be. That's where a lot of the ideas of me getting a normal bike's coming. How the situation's going with the trike and stuff. So. I don't blame you, Evil. It's kind of hard to trust somebody when they say they're going to have something done by X date, and then when it gets to X date, and then a month, 2 months beyond, yeah, something about that just doesn't add up. I'm sorry, but if I'm in business, say I'm running a shop, which I might eventually, maybe, But if I'm running a shop, and I tell somebody, and I look at the parts, because that's what I'll do first, tear the bike apart, see what's wrong, make sure I got everything that's wrong first, figure out how long it's going to take to get the parts. If I don't have the parts, then make the phone call to the person. Let them know, hey, look, this is what's wrong. This is what parts it needs. This is how long it's going to take me to get the parts. Once I get the parts, it should take this long. Not 4 months after the date that I tell them. I mean, anybody that rides a bike, especially for therapy reasons, it's kind of sort of a dependency thing of knowing exactly when you're going to be able to get back on the bike. I mean, I've been going kind of a bit crazy last month. Well, coming up through Mount Vernon and all that on the way to Sturgis, I didn't see the first one through there that day. Not one, which was awkward. Come think of it, I don't think I've seen a single tripper of the entire time I was in Illinois, which was awkward to me. But I mean, it's just one of those deals where you're a company, and when you tell somebody something, if you want to maintain and keep that business and not get a bad rap, you want to kind of sort of at least be closer, sticking to the timeline that you say. And you definitely don't want to do anything shady like file the claim, warranty claim, get the parts order, then close the claim saying you fixed the bike before you even get the parts in, so you can get the money from the warranty company. I mean, that's just crazy, if you ask me. And the fact that I know now that they're not even supposed to close the warranty claim until I have the bike in my own hands tells me that they were doing shady stuff. And I guarantee you it's not the first time they've done it either. I just happened to catch them doing it. So I mean, that's pretty bad for a dealership to be doing people that way. Just crazy days. Enough about me. Have you guys been able to ride today during this nice weather? Granted, I will say Kansas City all the way to Omaha, my gosh, it was London broil. Temperatures ranged anywhere from 94 to 102, according to the car. I'm almost to Sioux City, and it's reading 86 right now. I was expecting to be a little bit cooler up here. Not hotter. I don't even think it's that hot at the house today. So, Sunday, I'm going to try to go live when I leave, after I get on the interstate, basically, out of Sioux Falls. Because it's probably going to still be a little bit dark. And for anybody that's thinking about a new headlight, or how well or how good makers. I think that's what's on mine right now. Or was, I should say. It's in the trunk. So anybody wanting a Daymaker headlight, let me know. Because it's in the trunk of the bike right now. It's not on the bike. Thinking I might hold on to it to see what I get into. Well, no. I already know what I'm going to do. get my other bike. The first thing that's probably going to get done to it is a headlight. And it's probably good, and it will be. Come on. Good Lord, buddy. Speed limit's 70, not 53. Good way to get ran over, as y'all heard. But the new custom, the Shark Demon headlight, way better than the Daymaker. And I was hesitant about getting it, but the first night that I rode with it on, after it was installed, my gosh, I was able to notice the difference. Like, instantly. Dude, what the hell? I was hoping to get up here in time to be able to catch Sioux Falls Harley Davidson and go in for the change. Because they're always closed when I come through here. But might just have to make a trip down here tomorrow afternoon after I get the bike. Give a bike a test run. Sounds like an idea. But I'm not sure what's today. Oh, today's Friday. So that means Monkey's probably bound to be fixing to be live here before too long. Or is he doing a live today? I might try to catch him after I get checked into the hotel, give me something to eat, and then probably shack up in the hotel room for the night. Out my little poor Harley, my little Harley tears out. My bike's not ready yet. But I mean, on a side note, it would have been close for me getting to the dealership today to pick it up today, but had I known that there was a good possibility of them getting it done today, I'd have made sure I got up here in time. But oh yeah. Oh no. The Smoky Mountain Bike Rally's next weekend. It's not this weekend. This weekend's BBQ, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, BBQ's this weekend. I'm sure Eli's live. Oh, by the way, if anybody's watching Eli, if y'all could, just tell him I said hello. Please. I'd say it myself if he's live. I'm not even sure if he's live right now. I'd say he probably is. Yeah, appreciate it. But yeah, I will be back in time for Smoky Mountain Bike Rally. And I should have my giveaway bag that I'm going to do during that rally. And I've got a couple of challenge coins that I'm going to hand out during the rally. Oh, bummer. Yeah, I wasn't sure if he'd be live right now or not. Then again, though, cell service is probably shot because of the rally going on. Alright, people, dang. This guy's late. You bastards keep wanting to try to race. Oh, he got over to the other side. But I'm about hour and a half, I think, from Sioux Falls now. So shouldn't take me too long. Yeah. The Triple B's this weekend. And then Smoky Mountain Bike Week kicks off Saturday next week. Next weekend. I would say probably more like Friday than Saturday, but I think officially it's supposed to be Saturday. But I should be there for Friday and Saturday. And then I got to work Sunday and Monday. So I won't be there them 2 days. And then I'm off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I'll be there those 3 days. So, and I'm thinking I may do a meet and greet and try to host the ride for anybody that shows up that wants to do a ride, and pick up a challenge coin. But we may do a Dragon's Tail challenge ride for the challenge coins, and for anybody that shows up. So I'll be meeting up with when I get out there. So I know. And see, that's the thing is I tried to get off for Hog Rock and work would not let me. There's too many people off. Okay, whatever. So, next year though, different story. I'll be at Hog Rock in the spring. Be at Hog Rock in the fall. Be at Sturgis. Hopefully Daytona. And who knows whatever other rallies. Because the thing is if I get what I want done before the end of the year, about the time Daytona kicks off, it'll be about the end of be about the last time I work. I'll be retiring from work at that point. More than likely, depending on situation. Or I may work up to Hog Rock. Because Hog Rock's in May, right, Zan? Ain't that when Hog Rock starts in the spring one is in May? But oh yeah, I got in trouble with TikTok today. That's weird. But it's also sad. I got a 24-hour ban because I went live while driving. And the phone's I had the phone doing the exact same thing that I'm doing right now. It's sitting in the cup holder. And I glance down every once in a while. That was it. It lasted all but 5 minutes, and they turned around and banned me for 24 hours saying I was doing dangerous activity. So, they banned me for 24 hours. That's sad. An app that the government hates has more consideration for safety while driving than cell phone companies do to keep you from texting and driving. Oh, June, okay. Okay, cool. So yeah, if I don't retire for Daytona, if I don't retire from work during Daytona, I'll probably do so for sure at Hog Rock. Because I can't work past June or July anyways. Well, that'll turn around and screw me over. I'll end up having to pay taxes in next year if I do. If everything goes the way how I want it to go. So, that ain't gonna happen. but things happen the way how I want them to, I will be attending a lot more rallies. At least until the winter time. Because come winter time, I'm going to probably at least go ahead and get the ankle surgeries done, get both of my ankles replaced at that point. Jeez, dude, speed limit's 65. Fixing to be 45. Yes, I'm still fighting the VA. But I did find out when I looked, last I looked, it's actually sitting on the rater's desk, on a rater's desk since the beginning of August. So I figure when I go to my next therapy session on Friday next week, that I might drop a little nugget to them and see if they can't check into it as to what the holdup is. Because last time I done that, when I was waiting, she's like, yeah, I'll make a note to see if I can figure something out. 2 days later, I had something, the claim was closed 2 days after I said something to her. I was like, wow, okay, cool. Wasn't with the best results, but it was closed. So I don't know if I really want to or not. But we also found out, though, at that time, the two things that I filed on, neither one was in the system. They didn't take in the system, so they had to turn around and redo them. Re-enter them, and now they're in the system this time. So hopefully it'll be a different outcome. But yeah, still fighting the VA. But I know it's just going to be a matter of time that I get it. It's not if I'm going to get the 100%. It's just going to be a matter of when. Because the claim I've got now won't get me there for whatever messed up reason or another. I know when I file for my ankles, that should get me there. Because the doc done wrote in there that she knows that all the damage done to my ankles and my feet are from my service. She done made the service connection. So, hats off to the Chattanooga VA clinic for that one. At least the podiatrist for sure. And the psychiatrist, primary care doctor, and he's getting better. But yeah, he had to get a stern talking to. Are we out of the work zone? Man, really? Come on, people. I got places to be. I'm getting hungry. I don't know why you're trying to get over. I mean, you should be able to see the boat sitting there. Well, I hope you get it back for Hog Rock Evil. You ain't got much time. I'd be trying to swindle that guy a little bit. I'd be telling him, hey, look, you stalled that, I'm not paying you all that. Give me something at a more reasonable price for your screwed up efforts. That would would be my thing. And who knows? Maybe I might get with. Maybe if I get lucky enough tomorrow, I might not even have to worry about paying the $50 deductible to get my bike back. Because I mean, right now, if they're wanting a good rating, a decent rating for me for their survey, they're going to have to come up with something at this dealership. But I'm still not. I don't think I won't give in on that. But it's the least that they can do for the freaking screwing up they're doing. It's worth a shot anyways. But I would definitely make sure everybody knows which shop it is. So that way they know to be wary about having that shop do any work for them. I would definitely do that. I'd name drop the hell out of them for that. I mean, so all I'm going to do to J&L, I'm going to name drop the living tar out of them on it over all this. And it's not going to be no lies, nothing like that. It's going to be straight up what's been said, what's been done, and how things were done. Plain and simple. I don't have to exaggerate. Because I'm quite sure anybody that was traveling had to go through this crap that I've gone through, oh, I guarantee you they'd be fuming. But it is what it is, I guess. Okay, I wonder who the third person is that's watching. We got a lurker. I wonder if it's Mom. She tends to be too chicken to say anything. Because I can't see who it is. It just says I got 3 people watching. I know Evil and Rick and Zan's watching, but I don't know who the third person is. They think they have one in stock? No. I'd be telling them, get one. I'd be like, look. And it sounds almost like to me like, almost like they're just replacing parts to be replacing parts and costing you money. That's another one of the reasons why I want to learn how to work on my bike. That way, I have a better clue what needs to be worked on, what all's being replaced, what needs to be replaced for the said work. And then actually be able to do the work myself if I wanted to. But at least learning how, what's tied to what, so on and so forth. I'm slowly getting there. Just watching videos, just odds and ends videos and stuff. But, I mean, it sounds like to me like they're doing a car dealership deal to you. Evil. They keep bringing you back in. They'll fix one thing, possibly mess with something else, just to turn around and get you to come back in so they can get you to spend more money. That's one reason why I can't stand dealers. I mean, that is, especially car dealers. I actually caught one time unplugging a sensor that you couldn't easily see, because it threw a check engine light 2 days after I took it into the shop to have an oil change done. Because I didn't have time to do it myself, so I took it to a dealer, had them change it out. 2 days later, the check engine light comes up, or almost next day or so, the check engine light came on. I'm like, what the heck? And little did they know, at the time, I knew how to read the codes off the car, or get the codes to come up on the check engine light. So I sat there, tossed them up, and I found out what it was, and I went to go look at the sensor, seen the plug sitting in the sensor, but not plugged in all the way. So I was like, okay, let's see how this is going to be. And it was obvious that they unplugged it, because it was one of those that's got the clips with the little safety pin in it. I think it was an airflow sensor. And, yeah, it was an airflow sensor on the car. And, it was pulled out, and it was just, the plug for the sensor was just sitting in the slot. It wasn't really touching good enough to make a connection. And I was just like, okay, let's see how it's going to be. Well, that's good. It don't take long to change it, but still. Right. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, try to figure out what's going on is one thing, and then another thing is something's up that you can't figure out. Maybe there's a TSB that's out that might help them figure out what's going on, but you may not know what's going on with it. So I mean, I can understand taking it to a dealer for something after looking at it yourself. But right now, myself, I gotta be what does Monkey say? Oh, a YouTube mechanic. I think is what he said. I mean, that's how I came up with the idea for the catch can. So I ran across a video on YouTube of someone doing that similar thing. So I mean, YouTube's got its good points. Go. It's a fun car to drive. I like it. The only thing I don't like about this car, honestly, is the electric assist steering. On these longer sweeping curves, it tends to want to kick in, and it kind of screws with me. Because it like starts to turn the wheels a little bit sharper. So it's like, what the heck? It's like, I know I ain't turning the steering wheel that much sharper. Why is it suddenly turning? So it's like, so I mean, if I could get one without that, I might actually think about it. But then again though, $70,000 for a car? No thank you. I'd rather buy 2 Harleys instead. Or at least a Harley and another pickup truck. That's better use of 70 grand than one car. Yeah, no kidding. Because I found out that for my bike, I think they said 2017 and newer Harley Davidsons that have the ABS brakes, it's got the anti-lock brakes, you actually have to go to the dealership or have a computer, I should say. Not necessarily have to go to the dealer, but you have to have a computer to bleed the brakes, because you actually have to get the anti-lock brake controller to activate to bleed the brakes out completely. Otherwise, you'll have air in the system still. I was like, wow, okay. So, learned something. I learned a little bit here and there from the dealership. But I also know with my bike, with the hydraulic clutches, it's tied in. Well, on the Tri-Glide, anyways, it's tied in with the brake system. It's all the same system, which is awkward. Not sure how it works, why they've done that, but that's what they told me. So I was like, okay. Which doesn't make no sense. I guess hydraulic fluid's hydraulic fluid, though, I guess. I mean, top 3. I mean, steering fluid, hydraulic fluid, and brake fluid's technically hydraulic fluid, so I can see that. But yeah, as far as the electrical doodads, oh yeah. And I honestly think that's what a lot of the issue is with the new 24s that Harley has. Is they've gone so cheap in materials, trying to make the bikes as cheap as possible, that it's actually causing more issues than the money they're saving. I mean, think about it. If you're having to cover the warranty work for diagnosing an electrical problem on a new 2024, end up having to do this or replace this sensor or replace that sensor, which is going to cost you time, the manpower and all that, probably, I'd say, knowing Harley, about $1,000. Why not spend an extra $10 on parts for the part and get a decent part, and you won't have to worry about spending the $1,000 over multiple times? Because I'm sure at some point or another they'll be replacing almost every last one of those cheap sensors. They're just playing Russian roulette as to whether or not, when, or how many of them they'll have to replace. That's the way how I see it. I mean, the intake manifold on my bike, for example, I didn't know it was plastic until I seen a video about it. And me and the service manager started talking, because I started hearing a little bit of a whistle coming from the motor. We didn't know what it was, because everything was still fitting within the system when they hooked it up to the computer. It was all within specs. It still had a whistle, though, a slight whistle at certain RPMs, and we couldn't figure it out. And I started thinking, trying to figure out what could possibly be causing it. And sure enough, I ran across a video started in with, if you have a whistling or you notice you feel mileage going crap, or your bike's running really, really rough, even though it's properly tuned supposedly, or you're constantly having to tune it, and for anybody that hasn't done this yet, and you're having a problem, if you happen to be watching, which I doubt there's anybody really watching that's got an M8 that's, but yeah, you never know. But they sat there and said if you're constantly having to retune a bike, and if you have a motor with a plastic air intake manifold, chances are more than likely that is what's causing the issue. And they just said you can actually fix the issue by just simply replacing it with an aluminum one. Screaming Eagle, S&S, polished, not polished, whatever. And you can, and that's, so I was like, okay. So the next time the bike went into service, I made sure the dealership knew to go ahead and while they were doing it, because they were doing the spark plugs and the wires, I had them change out the intake manifold at that point too. And they done it, the whistle disappeared, and the bike started running really good then. So, if you have issues and you got a plastic any plastic motor parts, that might be where the problem is. I mean, I was actually somewhat floored when I seen and heard about it being plastic. I didn't even think about it because I was like, it's a motorcycle. I know cars have it, but I didn't think motorcycles would, because they get hot and they're exposed to the weather. So, I mean, it would be crazy. Really go wrong with that picture. But alive tonight. Not sure if he is or not. But just figured I was gonna hop off for a little bit and try to get some more viewing hours in. So I'll catch y'all later. Y'all take care. Be safe. See you. Bye.